It's Clark, and this is Breaking the Euros, the show that breaks down this year's UEFA tournament and asks 6 opinionated panellists to put it back together again. So apologies if you've tuned in hoping for advice and getting smaller notes from our bureau de change. And for this very special edition of the programme, we thought we'd take breaking the news, add off the ball and throw in a wee dash of sacked in the morning. So joining me are our teams, Tam Cowan, Jay Lafferty and Stuart Cosgrove, and facing them are Amy Irons, Ray Bradshaw and Athena Cook-Blennow. What a lineup. The Tartan Army has blasted retailer Next for failing to sell children's Scotland's football T-shirts despite having them for England and Italy. One wee boy was left in tears when he couldn't get a Scotland top, but manager Steve Clarke has promised Ben Doak there'll be one for him in the dressing room. Right, we've got so much to get through before the final whistle goes, so let's crack on with round one. This is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess the 2 stories that have been mashed together into one single headline. So Tam, Jay and Stuart, can you tell me what you think the first story is?
Scotland will kick off Euro 2024 against the hosts Germany, while England have what looks like a favourable draw against
Lyndon Dykes, Shea Adams and Lawrence Shanklin.
Scotland's last major tournament win was against
Our pundits.
I think it might be what are Scotland and England, Athena's, chances in the Euros. Like, are we going to win?
Well, there you go. That is the right answer. Well done, Jay. Yes, after a very impressive qualifying campaign, including 5 wins in our first 6 games, Scotland made it to Germany with 2 ties to spare. Steve Clarke's men will now face the challenge of getting out of the group stages for the first time in a major finals. Injuries could be a factor for Scotland, though. After limping off during the FA Cup final, Scott McTominay was ruled out for at least 3 weeks, because that's how long it takes to get a GP appointment. Tam, what do you make of this then? How can we rate Scotland's chances? Are we, or should we be as optimistic as England clearly are?
I'm very confident, simply because we qualified. We qualified for the Euros. Look at the teams that didn't. Brazil, Argentina. You know, top teams, you know.
Well, I think at this point it would be right to turn to Athena, representing all of England right now.
Yeah.
At this point, so you can deal with it in whatever order you want, talking about Scotland and England's chances in the Euros.
Don't do what we do and get overconfident. That's what we do. We're too optimistic, OK? I could slide into Anthony Joshua's DMs, all right, with the word hi, lowercase h, book a wedding venue for next summer. That wouldn't be as optimistic as what England fans are like. So just don't get too confident and just believe in what you've done and have faith in what you're going to do. And I think you actually might get out of that group, you know?
We might.
I don't know how to be anything other than optimistic. Like, even when I see that some supercomputer has said Scotland have 1% chance, I'm like, 1, it's still a chance. It's probably software developed by Elon Musk, who's underestimating the power of John McGinn's backside. They have no idea what they're going to be messing with.
See, we say a 1% chance, though. See, when I was 19, if I was going to a club and I was told I had a 1% chance of pulling, I'd been like, it's looking good tonight. 1% is great.
Good odds, Ray.
You're going to hold on to that 1%.
Let's go quickly around the houses. If you were the manager, what would you be telling the boys? So, Jay, would you send them out with a message ahead of the big game?
I have actually got a prepared speech. It's the same speech that I used when I was toilet training my wee boy. And before he went up to nursery, and I was toilet training him, and I think it'll really work. I've written it down, right? So it's this is what I said to him. I sat him down. I was like, so listen, son, we're up in the big leagues now. You can't be pissing about out there. We don't want to embarrass ourselves. You're going to need to work on keeping a hold of it. Get the dribbling under control. Then when you're in the right area, take control of the situation, make sure you're aiming the right way, take a deep breath and let it go. And see if you're able to do that without making a mess. Then your mummy and daddy will be dead proud of you and give you loads of cuddles and kisses.
Lovely, lovely. Stuart, I'll bring you in here. If you were the manager, what message would you be saying to the guys sending them out there?
You're a shower of overrated wanks. And frankly, it's an embarrassment being in your company. Now prove me wrong.
Brilliant.
Still got it. The pundits' opinions in this summer's football are split, as you'd expect. Michael Stewart thinks Scotland will struggle to get out of the group. James McFadden thinks we can go on and lift the trophy. And Chris Boyd thinks Rangers deserve a penalty. Well done, team. You get 2 points for that. Over to you now, Amy, Ray and Athena. What was the other story we were after?
Presume it's about the opponents we're actually going to face.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Ray. Scotland have been drawn in the opener against host Germany in Munich. And then after taking care of them, we will face a Switzerland side who have made the last 16 and 4 of the last 5 World Cups, and a Hungary team who qualified unbeaten for this tournament. What a doddle. Yeah, Athena, what do you think? You've seen the group then. Biggest threat for Scotland, and do you think we can do it? Can we make it out of the group?
Genuinely think Scotland can. I was going to say the biggest threat's Hungary because they're unbeaten. Their record on paper are best. But I am going to say now it might be the team hotel. It's got 11 saunas and about 12 jacuzzis. Who's going to play football? I'll just be like, oh, I'll just chill out there for a couple of weeks. So, I think you should have gone into a travel lodge. Because then you'd be raring to play.
What do you think then? You've had a look at the group, I know, Tam. Biggest threat for us, and can we get out of the groups?
We keep hearing that we've got world-class players. If, and only if, it suddenly all clicked. It just all did gel. Everybody just found their perfect position. It just all came together beautifully. Then, I think we'll still get pumped.
Well, look, there you go. We've got a lot to look forward to. But just imagine, just dare to dream for a minute. Imagine Scotland won this tournament. What would the reaction be like? Ray, talk us through. What would the celebrations be like?
It'd be carnage, man. What's the final? 14th of July. So 14th of April, there'll be kids getting born called Shankland and stuff like that. We'd have to put a statue up in Glasgow of John McGinn's arse. It'd be like Greyfriars Bobby, you've got to go kiss it. Like, that's what we'd have to do.
I don't care what the celebrations involve, as long as I don't have to stand at my back door banging pots and pans. I don't care. But no, I think it would have to become a national holiday.
Yeah.
We had a bank holiday for the coronation. It's only right we have one for King Clark when he comes back with all his squads. So it would have to be a national holiday if we did win the Euros.
Stuart, what do you think then? You know, it's not just fantasy. 20 years ago, Greece came from nowhere. Outsiders, really defensive coach. They won the tournament. It can be done. Imagine it happened, and imagine the celebrations in Scotland. What would we be looking at?
Well, the carnage will be off another scale. A tsunami of vodka and orange. I'm just worried that we're not ready for this.
Not ready. Too much for us at this stage.
I agree with Stuart. Like, the hangover is going to be apocalyptic. Like, can you imagine waking up 3 weeks later, there's still buildings in fire? Do you know what I mean? John Swinney's woken up next to Douglas Ross, wearing only his referee whistle. Someone's put a giant traffic cone on top of the Kelpies' heads. I mean, the M8's just totally deserted because nobody can drive yet because we're just so drunk.
Yes, the task facing Scotland is the right answer. And at the end of the round, the teams are all square. Now, so much of our news is about public opinion, so we've asked a couple of Scotland fans to send us their thoughts on a few talking points around the tournament. So, Amy, Ray and Athena, you're up first. What story do you think Scotland's only World Cup winner and pioneering footballer Rose Riley is on about here?
We were to go on a bus, a hired bus to get us to Greenock. The bus didn't turn up, so we hitched a lift in a furniture lorry. So there we goes, travelling style, the Scotland national women's team, sitting in couches, holding on to standard lamps to play our most important international game against England at Greenock. But the main thing is we got there and we played the game.
There you go. What a legend, Rose Riley. Let's hear it for Rose, ladies and gentlemen. Brilliant. An amazing story there. From Rose, talking about her journey in football. What was Rose talking about? Amy, any ideas?
Well, I was thinking it was just the stress of getting to Greenock, but I'm guessing it was talking about the journey getting to a tournament.
Yeah, great shout. Well done. That is the right answer. We're, of course, talking about the story of the extraordinary lengths that supporters are willing to go to get to the games. We've had everything from boat trips to trains, planes and automobiles, as an estimated 200,000 of our fans plan to descend on the tournament. One Scotland fan, a legend, is walking 1,000 miles from Scotland to Germany in time for the Euros. Craig Ferguson from Paisley is making the epic journey to pay tribute to the famous Proclaimers song, raise funds for a men's mental health charity and demonstrate the lengths that someone will go to get away from Paisley.
I love sitting and listening to guys telling their story.
Yeah.
They're flying into Amsterdam, we're walking down to Bochum, and then we're going to Bielefeld, and we're digging up the motorbike that Steve McQueen left. And it keeps going on and on and on. You just get to the game.
So what I've enjoyed the most is like German health officials. Have you seen all the statements they've been putting out? And they're like, you've got to be careful, guys. Scottish fans in particular coming over, because our alcohol can be quite strong. And I was like, we've been training for this since we were 12. Like, we are so match fit.
Athena, you're hearing these stories about the Tartan Army. Does it surprise you hearing this, how far us Scotland fans will go to get to these games in Germany?
Well, it's kind of like Stuart said, it is only Germany. It's just there. Like, you can get a plane.
Yeah.
But I think that the bigger story is, like, are Scottish fans and English fans, all the fans there, are they going to behave appropriately whilst they're in Germany? And this is genuinely true. I was reading about some advice that German authorities are giving fans, right? And true story, there are some rules in Germany that if you don't follow them, you can get arrested, right? And one rule, if you buy like a big jug of beer, you know, those big glass kind of tankers, and you drink it, and then you use that tanker to kill someone, you can go to jail. And I don't feel like I need that spelled out to me as a strict rule. I would call that justice. But write that down.
Write that
Just
down.
changing my itinerary.
These heavy-handed German police.
Murder, yeah.
Jay, what about you? Does it surprise you how far people are prepared to go to get to Germany?
It's not just the Scottish fans, English fans. Some English fans are going over in small boats, which is ironic.
What about you, Tam? We've touched upon it. Does it still surprise you how far we as Scotland fans are prepared to go to get to these games in Germany?
No, because it's 996 miles away. You need to go that far. If you like, doesn't surprise me at all. If you only go 800 miles, you'll be in France. and there's no football taking place here. I have no idea what this round's about.
Getting to the games is, of course, correct. 2 points to Amy, Ray and Athena. OK, Tam, Jay and Stuart, it's your turn now. We caught up with actor and massive Scotland fan Dougray Scott. But what is Dougray on about here?
I think it's great for people to congregate. They're always well behaved. For people who can't afford to get to the games, and they're always really sort of well behaved in Scotland. Not sure about England, but in Scotland they're always pretty well behaved. But I think they're a really, really good idea.
I was talking about his expectation for the behaviour of the Scotland fans.
I will accept that as the answer for Dougray Scott. Specifically, the fans, and also, more specifically, fan zones. Yes, this is the fan zones, which are popping up across the country to give supporters something closer to the big game experience. There's going to be multi-screens, party games, street food, and an effort to bring everyone together to support the teams. One fan zone in Germany is named after the 1974 World Cup winning manager Helmut Schön. Of course, Helmut Schön is also what happens when a Scotland fan does a cartwheel in his kilt. Ray, we're talking about fan zones. What do you think about this idea, fan zones around the country? Does it appeal to you?
Yeah, 100%. Because I found out when in the Euro playoffs last time we were playing Serbia, it's a lot less fun chucking a pint in there when it's your own house. So,
What do you think about this then, Amy? We're talking about fan zones. They're popping up everywhere. Do they appeal to you?
If I wanted to see grown men acting like kids, and making a mess that they won't clear up, I would just watch it at home and not pay for the privilege. So, no, I would just... I can get that some people like them, but no, I would rather just I've got a perfectly good telly in my house. I'll
Save
just
your
watch
money.
it.
Stay in the house.
Save my cash, stay in the house.
Just clip that for 6 weeks' time when Amy is hosting a fan zone.
Suddenly then, different story. Athena, what about you? Fan zones popping up everywhere. Do they appeal to you?
I've never sat in my house, watched my TV with a glass of something nice in my hand. I thought, you know what I need right now? A DJ. I wanted...
Well, look, maybe we're getting fan zones all wrong. Should we have a say in what should be in them? What about you, Jay? I'll come to you, because you're not a fan of the fan zone. But could you maybe describe your dream fan zone? What would be in it?
Just been listening to everybody, I think like the ideal Scottish fan zone. We could all go around Ray's house, get you in the barbecue, Ray, get Stuart handing out all the cans there, Susan Boyle, Lewis Capaldi on the karaoke, singing Yes Sir, I Can Boogie, Lorraine Kelly try to fire into wee Des.
That's 100% happened before.
Oh,
isn't it?
it's happened,
100%.
definitely happened.
Yeah.
And then there's just a wee guy who nobody knows, but he's got good crack. And that would be the best one.
I'd just like to say I've never been fired into by Lorraine Kelly or the actress that plays Lorraine Kelly.
And I'd just like to say, how do you know that I've got a good crack?
You bent over.
Well, there you go. Of course, we're talking about the fan zones that are popping up around the country. Some people might ask, what is the difference between a fan zone and a pub with a big telly outdoors? The answer is about £4 a pint. The fan zone versus the house is the correct answer. 2 points go to Tam, Jay and Stuart. This round is all about who's in the news. I will play you a clip of a mystery person who has a connection to the Euros. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So Tam, Jay and Stuart, you're up first this time. Who is this and why are they in the news?
What we can say is if we come out the group stage, then we'll have created a little bit of history for Scottish football. So that's a starting point. I think once you come out, if you're good enough to come out the group stage, then who knows what can happen after that.
Steve Clarke, Scotland manager.
Is the right answer. Well done, Stuart Cosgrove. Absolutely brilliant. Yes, of course, it is the Scotland boss, Steve Clarke, who says that he can't wait to get started and try to make a wee bit of history in Germany. Clarke has said it's been a slow, gradual process bringing this team together over 4 years, but he thinks we're finally in a good place to see the best of what we have to offer. Steve Clarke has been an assistant to both Kenny Dalglish and Jose Mourinho, which are the only times in his life when he's been described as the happy-go-lucky one. Stuart, what is the magic touch? How has Steve Clarke done it? What has he brought that's made Scotland really push forward in the last few years?
Well, one of the things I do feel off the back of his managing at Kilmarnock, I think he's turned Scotland into a club team. Yeah. I know that's like a bit of a cliche, but he's got players that really want to play for him and he knows what they can do. And I think in lots of ways we owe a wee bit of respect to Kilmarnock because they cultivated him up here. Now, he had a good track record as an assistant in England, but it was his role at Kilmarnock that's turned him into the Scotland manager.
I think you're right, that club team. Yeah, I would take that as a good answer. Ray, I'll bring you in. Yeah. Let's talk about Steve Clarke. He's taken us there again to the Euros. What is it about Steve Clarke? What has he added to the Scotland team to make it push forward to where we are?
Yeah, like Stuart was saying, the club team atmosphere is definitely a thing. He's also a terrifying man. Like, I've interviewed him a few times, and trying to get through to him is so hard. Like, the first time I sat down with him, and it was before the interview started, he came in, they were waiting to film, and you get that awkward silence. I was like, what do you do in your spare time? And he's like, just football. I was like, mate, you manage a national team, you don't manage a club, you've got lots of time, what are you doing? And no chat. And I was like, what do you watch? And I was going through all, like, Lorraine this morning. Like, do you watch Homes Under the Hammer? And then he just went, how do they always make a profit? And I was like, I've got him. 10-minute chat about Dion Dublin and Homes Under the Hammer.
You say you don't think he's got a hobby? You've clearly not got right in there because he loves fly fishing.
Does he? So
he loves fly fishing, apparently. That, if he's been into that, probably quite similar with being the Scotland manager in the fact that you have to have a lot of patience and you often walk away without a result.
Well, if you could have anybody manage the national team, anyone in the world, who would it be and why? And I'll start with you, Tam Cowan.
I would go with Kim Jong-un. And then we wouldn't even need to go to the Euros, but at the end of the competition, he just tells us we won it. and we've all got to go like that. That's it. Takes all the pressure out of it.
You're right, absolutely. Guaranteed win. Jay, what about you?
So I started thinking about the qualities of a Scotland manager. So we need someone with commitment, who'd be on top of the players, dedicated to getting a result. And there's only one woman for the job. It's Martha from Baby Reindeer. Think about it. She'd be on top of them all day. She'd be emailing them, texting them, make sure they were there. Like, absolutely.
Sure, what about you?
Craig Levine.
OK, that's the who. Why?
Well, because then St Johnstone could start again.
Athena, what about you? If you could appoint anyone to manage the Scotland team, who would it be and why?
If it was up to me, it would be Tam and Stewart.
Would you take the job, guys?
Because that way you'd get to go to the next tournament. You'd have to get here first. Well, you know, I got faith. I got faith in you.
Fantastic. Well, there we are. There's actually a limited edition Euro 2024 Mr. Men book featuring Steve Clarke as Mr. Happy and Gareth Southgate as Mr. Penalty. There we go. 2 points. That was indeed Steve Clarke. Well done. Right, Amy, Ray and Athena, it's your turn now. Who is this?
I feel uplifting. It's something so unbelievable, you know. I want to thank you. All Scotland, you know, and of course the Scottish team.
Baccarat? Is that what the band's called?
I'll take that. Well done.
I don't know her name, though.
Bang on. Correct answer. Well done. Yes. It's one half of Spanish supergroup Baccarat, Maria Mendiola, speaking there before she sadly passed away about how proud she was that Yes Sir I Can Boogie had become a Scotland team anthem. And that leads us nicely to an exploration of football songs and why some have become synonymous with Scotland. Of course, the Scotland squad recorded the song Easy, Easy for the World Cup in 1974. Then the follow-up song, Difficult, Difficult. For every tournament since. Well done in giving us the right answer, Ray. That was a great spot. How important is it then to get a good football song?
Yeah, it's huge. Like, we were chatting before, the origin of Yes Sir I Can Boogie is amazing, like why that became a thing. But I've gone to lots of Scotland games and seen amazing songs. But in fact, my favourite one was we played England 2013 away. And it was like one of my big first Scotland away days. And me and my mates all went down. We're drinking in Trafalgar Square and we got the subway. And we're all singing songs. And then one stop from Wembley, these England fans came on, right? Pure stonewashed jeans, England tops, like skinheads, like clearly football casuals. All the Scotland fans go quiet, apart from my mate Steve, who's like a social hand grenade. Like, Steve stood up and he pointed at these like football casuals and he went, "We hate England, your tap water shite." It's chalky.
Amy, I want to ask you, you've been in and around the game for a long time. How important do you think a good football song is?
Oh, I think it's very important. I just wish we could sing in time. Like, no matter how many times you go to Hampden, you're like, Flower of Scotland, it's our pride and joy, but we will all sing it at 10 different tempos.
Yeah.
But we'll give it welly, we'll give it our all. So obviously the minute Scotland fans get behind a song, whatever it is, whether it's Do a Dear, another really random one, Yes Sir I Can Boogie, we will make it our own and we'll murder it at the same time.
We will do, but with love. I love that. Athena, obviously, we give respect to England in this. You've had some of the best football songs over the years. How important is a good football song?
I do think that football fans kind of communicate humour through football songs. Some of the funniest stuff you'll ever hear is what football fans sing. When England played Italy in the finals of the Euros, right, 4 years ago, I was walking through town and all the England fans were singing variations of the same song with the same line. And it was, you can shove your Ferrari up your arse, shove your pasta up your arse. Anything Italian was to be shoved up the arse.
Wow.
Of Italian fans. And I thought, this is genius. So many things are Italian. Leonardo da Vinci, shove that up your arse.
Tam, how important is a good football song?
Well, the best ever football song for fans, I think, was the one that the St Johnstone fans had when, believe it or not, they played Monaco. And Stuart, what was the song?
It was In Your Monaco Slums. A wonderful rendition. And it got to the chorus, and it was, your butler rakes in the cupboard for something to eat. He finds caviar and he thinks it's a treat in your Monaco slums.
Scotland sadly doesn't have an official national anthem. Auld Lang Syne was once considered, but when it was played at the football, it made all the fans hold hands and rush onto the pitch, then back out again, then back in again. Of course, Maria Mendiola is the right answer. 2 points go to Amy Ray and Athena. And it's time now for our final quickfire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers from the Euros. I will read out a Euros-themed stat. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
History beckons!
Oh, there you go. That's commentator Liam McLeod there with his unique approach to his children's homework. All right, let's go. Fingers on buzzers. Here we go. What increased by 5% the last time Germany hosted a major football tournament? Jay?
The amount of time that England commentators mentioned 1966.
It's probably more than that, to be honest.
It goes up 5% each time.
Every time they mention it, every game. What increased by 5% the last time Germany hosted a major football tournament? Athena?
Is it the alcohol percentage of Scottish beer, just to prove a point?
You're in the right area, but not quite. What increased by 5% the last time Germany hosted a major football tournament? Tam?
Was it the availability of sunbeds in Tenerife?
We didn't quite get to the answer. The answer is that beer sales in Germany increased by 5% the last time they hosted a major football tournament.
History beckons!
Oh, there we go. That is the klaxon. It's all over. Liam has McLeoded. A hand at the end of the quiz. Our winners are Amy Irons, Ray Bradshaw and Athena Cook-Glennon. Commiserations to our runners-up, Tam Cowan, Jay Lafferty and Stuart Cosgrove. And we'll leave you with the Breaking the Euros predictions for the rest of the tournament in Germany. It's predicted to be a bad tournament for Scotland teams' wives and girlfriends, particularly after one finds out about the other. And no matter how Scotland does at the Euros, we may find that the real trophy was the friends we made along the way. Or, failing that, the satisfaction of watching England getting pumped out on penalties. The Euros are broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye!